First of all, let me correct you. Though on paper I am 60 years, in the hours that I have spent, 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, and if you count all that and not taken a leave,
exactly.
I am about 120 years.
Okay.
But in one lifetime, 92% L&T new.
Yes.
Only what I inherited is only 8%. And in 25 years, I have created a new L&T.
That's true.
So, when they are questioned, I'm not sad at all. Do I look like that? I'm a very happy man.
Okay.
The other way around. My father told me, never take anything from anybody.
Okay.
Because that's a liability. But if you give to anyone, it's a pleasure.
Yes.
So I am in a process at this stage in life to give. Over 60 years I have collected so much.
Yeah.
I don't want to go without giving.
Okay.
So now I feel so happy that we have a very good successor who I have mentored for 11 years. I never got mentored. 1 week notice I got to take over.
Okay.
But SNS I have been mentoring from 2011.
Okay.
And by 17 he became CEO. When I first saw him in 2006, that is the first time I ever met him.
Okay.
Can you believe he was only joined GM.
Okay.
And joined GM to GM to VP to senior VP to become an executive board.
Yeah.
I sent him 1 year abroad while being a director. So I was backing up his portfolio also.
Okay.
I have no emotional moment because I was preparing myself for last 10 years.
Okay.
Even my wife, many times when she is interviewed, she says, I am a second wife.
Okay.
First wife for my husband is L&T.
L&T. Okay.
And I have slept many times in the company on the table like this.
Okay.
I didn't go home back. And my wife was young, 20 years old, even at that time.
Okay.
Even when I graduated, my ambition was to join L&T. My father left Bombay
Okay.
in 1952 and went back to village.
Okay.
Right? So he was also working for the poor people and so on. Nestler Boiler I joined because of the reason that L&T was only interviewing IIT, 5 IIT, 2 people each, 2 students.
Okay.
And one exception, VJTI, 2 students.
Okay.
And my father went to village, so I went with him and he told me, go to Vallabh Vidyanagar. I went to Vallabh Vidyanagar. So I missed IIT. If I was in Bombay, my father had continued, I would have gone to Bombay IIT. So I joined a small company, but that experience was for the benefit of my joining L&T.
Okay.
It was just the right one for L&T.
Okay.
Talking about Philips, when I made up my mind that I want to find some other job, it was only, I keep remembering my father. Will my father do it?
Okay.
That day I applied to maybe 20 companies.
Okay.
And I got interview of Philips, which was a multinational but India, and Larsen, Toubro, which was Indian multinational. And Philips was in Loni, Pune.
Yeah.
Second, it was more for electrical and electronic engineers. I was a mechanical engineer. L&T would give me much better responsibilities. So I came for interview to L&T and got selected. When I came, I was getting 800 rupees. I was like this, shooting up in the previous company. I was a workshop in charge with 400 workers. And with that, I came for interview, got selected. Then Mr. Baker, who was the Englishman, he said, "You will have to meet the old man." Old man meaning his boss.
Okay.
So I went. Now Baker was very rough and tough. Hanson was very soft-spoken,
Okay.
rhythmic English.
Okay.
So, amongst many questions, he asked me, "How many people report to you?" This is the way he used to speak. Earlier, he had offered me 760 rupees. I was getting 800, but I was willing to accept.
Okay.
For L&T's sake,
Yeah.
it did not matter.
Yeah.
So, 760 supervisory B assistant engineer. Hanson made 670
Oh, okay.
junior engineer
Okay.
and unionized category.
Okay.
I am accepting the job anyhow because my lifetime dream was to come in L&T
Okay.
and serve this nation.
Okay.
And L&T was the only platform, and today also is the only platform which can serve our country.
That's true.
So he was relieved.
Okay.
But when I became a CEO, since
Okay.
you asked, I got a call from Hong Kong,
Okay.
from some headhunter. And he said, "We have fantastic job from a big multinational Asia manager and so on. I am coming to Bombay, can I meet him?" So I told him, "I hope you have seen the news that I am now CEO of Larsen Toubro." And he said, yeah, but this is a bigger job than that.
Okay.
So I told him, I'm not looking for a bigger job.
Okay.
I'm looking for national job.
Okay.
This is what I
Very
told him.
interesting.
But come and see me anyway. I need lots of good people. Please find them for me.
Okay.
Never again he
Never
came to
came
see
to-
me.
Okay.
Let me tell you, as a student, I was hardly in a class.
Okay.
And professor used to think I will fail.
Okay.
And I used to finally come out number 5 rank or 6 rank.
Okay.
When I graduated, that student life by that itself is a big chapter. But at the end, when I finally finished 6th rank, and last day I was leaving the campus, just outside the campus I stood for 5 minutes. I looked back and I said, maybe I'll come once in many years here. But student life is over. Now I'm going into, that time I used to say business life.
Yes.
Now it's a corporate life. And that's a completely different story. With that in my mind, I came to Bombay and then I got Nestor Boiler and Nestor Boiler 12, all that you have heard. And I enjoyed working so much. Many times people like you used to ask me, when do you relax? And I used to say, when I work.
Okay.
And then they say, when do you have tension? I said, if I have no work.
Oh, okay.
Even 15 minutes I don't have a productive work, I would be restless.
Okay.
So continuously I was more and more given responsibility. Every time I got like this, some newer and newer things, that kept me occupied, very interesting.
Okay. Okay.
And I just didn't feel like going home at all.
Okay.
Of course my wife was there, so I have to be very, she has suffered a lot. Because many times I've slept at night.
Office.
And she would be worried. She was, I married early. So she was only 18.
Oh.
Alone she would sleep in the flat.
Okay.
Alone.
Okay.
And I should have thought about it. That all this is going through. Is it really worth what I'm doing? But anyway, that's a different chapter that is past.
Yeah.
now we have changed the entire structure. We have changed the CEO. We have changed the profile of the business. And suddenly you find 105% increase in profit this year.
Yes.
And next year will be similar.
Okay.
And we have repaid 5,000 crore non-performing asset.
Okay.
Right off.
Right.
So balance sheet is becoming more and more cleaner.
Healthy, yes.
So you will see in 3 years' time, L&T share was hovering around 50, 55. Now it is now gone to 138 up to
Yes.
140. So now today it is 130. I won't be surprised if this keeps going up as we continue to perform, because we are from wholesale finance company become a retail finance company.
Okay.
We had only 20% retail and 80% wholesale. We lost all the money.
Okay.
Now we have 80% retail and we want to take it to 95, if possible 100.
100%. Okay.
So it will be like a bank.
Okay.
I think that will be a tremendous progress in overall L&T portfolio. Because from liability it is going to come to tremendous assets.
Yes.
Now coming to IT. When I took over, 1 year after, that was a vision statement we made
Okay.
in year 99.
Okay.
And November, we implemented it,
Okay.
November 99.
Okay.
Then I wanted to form a 5-year strategic plan. L&T never had strategic plan.
Okay.
So I called it a blue chip, project blue chip.
Okay.
That we want to make the company blue chip.
Okay.
So we called it blue chip. Then later on, as the company did well, we changed the name to Lakshya.
Okay.
Now it is Lakshya 1, Lakshya 2, Lakshya 3 and Lakshya 4 is going on.
Okay.
Which is mostly SNS will do. He did half, I gave half.
Okay.
And now the new Lakshya is all SNS have followed that.
Okay.
And what happened, the 2000, I saw after we implemented the strategic plan and vision statement and all, that we had 60% attrition rate in our IT captive unit.
Okay.
We wanted to automize the processes of the whole company. But how can we do it? We had ERP, first company to form ERP in Sweden in 92. And we were the only one who had in the country. We were the first one to buy ERP SAP. So all the people were leaving because people were offering double and triple. And what mistake we were having, you can call it mistake or I think conservatism, that if we pay to one employee, we'll have to pay to all.
Okay.
So we were paying them L&T salary, which is 1/4 of IT industry salary.
Yes, correct.
They were leaving.
Yeah.
97, we formed a company called L&T Infotech
Infotech, yes.
and transferred all the people to that
Okay.
and started paying them IT industry salaries.
Okay.
Obviously, that brought down the attrition somewhat from 60% to 40%.
Okay.
But 40% is a lot of attrition.
Yeah, still lot attrition.
Then I said, why? I mean, after paying them the salary of IT industry, all that, why is the attrition so high? Then I found, in no time, I mean, you don't need a knowledge to understand that everybody wanted to go abroad, preferably America.
Okay.
And America was current
Okay.
for visa. Current meaning you can go in the morning, apply, evening 4 o'clock you get a green card, not H1. In our time. So I said I will start IT to stop that attrition.
Okay.
Because that attrition was hurting us in the rest of the company also.
Okay.
August 2000, I went first time to USA and started meeting people to whom I personally knew.
Okay.
And I got the job after, let's say, 4 or 5 visits. People were asking, the customers, what is your reference? We had no reference. We had no job. First one I got because the CEO was close to me.
Okay.
It was only 6 million. Then to maintain that after 1.5 years, we got another 6 million.
Okay.
But slowly some boys who I knew, I brought them back. And one absolute strategic decision I took. I got 16 smartest people from L&T.
Okay.
They don't know anything about IT. I oriented them, orientation program, for 3 weeks.
Okay.
After 3 weeks, I said, you go to London, you go to New York, you go to California, whatever. You go to Tokyo, and suddenly opened 12 offices.
Oh, okay.
Now we do about 12,000-15,000 crore every year.
Okay.
In private sector, biggest.
Yeah.
But the reason we are not able to get and do more, because government keeps on giving on nomination to all public sector,
Correct.
and they don't deliver for 8 years, 10 years.
Yes.
Country is suffering. Someday, I hope it changes.
Okay.
But that was the main reason why we went into defense.
Okay.
Because our urge was always to go in high tech.
Okay.
And defense was high tech.
High-tech.
And if we learn to do defense work, it had an application in many commercial.
Commercial, yes, that is true.
And we could do that also. He knows SSC inside out because he came from there. So I met him only in 2006.
Okay.
And I met him because GM Rao wanted to start the airport in Delhi. And he told SNS. SNS were doing selling, marketing, business development. Rangaswamy were doing the operational part.
Okay.
Although senior being Rangaswamy, he was a boss, SNS reported to him. I could make out this will come to us.
Okay.
After that, it was not looking back.
Okay.
When GVK made the Bombay airport, again there was a rivalry. So he said, GM Rao called chairman, I will also call chairman. So he called me in Hyderabad,
Okay.
along with SNS always. Now, while seeing the number of people in the company, I could see SNS is the man to be watched
Okay.
closely. And he was the youngest. And in old days, I told you it took 1 year for me to get one promotion in 1974.
Correct.
But I changed all that.
Yes.
I said meritocracy. Whoever has a merit gets it. At that level, you can't be fooling around with seniority and all sorts of things. 2 people didn't like, I won't say didn't like, but were a little sad that they were not getting a chance.
Okay.
But I pumped them up and they are wholeheartedly accepted SNS.
Okay.
So that also helped me to make a decision. See, what I decided to give additional responsibility which others were not wanting. So I made him partly in IT.
Okay.
Then in 2015, I sent him to US for 1 year. He came back. As soon as he came back, by the time everybody says, okay, IT has gone, that's a separate company, did that. So they were not looking up to that,
Okay.
others. And I made him vice chairman.
Yes.
By the time he could digest it, 2016, we made him chairman of Hyderabad Metro,
Yes.
which was earlier Devasari. and our defense shipyard at Kattupalli near Chennai. We made him chairman of that. Then came 16. After doing that, I went to the board that I have been watching this man for 10 years. I have been mentoring. Mentoring is a big thing I do. Right now, I'm mentoring 40 people. And how to create future leaders. And the leaders of the leader, which is the CEO. So, I told the board that my choice is SNS. From what happened in 2012, that suddenly they had to call me and say, you become CMD.
Yeah.
They say, are you really sure? I say, I'm dead sure. After seeing them in the board and the way SNS deals with situation, board agreed. This is how in 17 he was made CEO.
Okay.
And then over last 5-6 years, more and more as I was a non-executive, he was in exposure with everybody. And I can tell you he's a good man. I don't think there are too many such competent people in the industry. Very well. I told you. You asked me about 3 lakh crore. I said at 10-15%, it's a matter of time when we will make 3 lakh crore. Hey, come on, yaar. Now we have got high speed. One single job, 26,000 crore. One job. And watch in the next 1 month. Watch. And from abroad, we are going to get such a large job that nobody has ever even dreamt of it in India. Over time, the kind of vociferously that the government was saying, no private sector, only government. We didn't get any job. Nuclear we got because the government, that too, they gave away to BHL. Pioneering work was done by Larsen Toubro. When BHL failed, they brought L&T back after 10 years. And now again BHL is lagging behind by 5-7 years.
Yes.
So those were the days when I must have gone 30-40 times to convince all the secretaries that please treat, if you want to create a nation with power, you have to take everybody with you. We are not doing anything. We will also do for the country. And make competitive bidding. I told you the L&T Trust, which owns L&T,
Correct.
and L&T, which manages L&T Group,
Right.
are two different pillars.
Sure.
Okay? I am still the chairman of L&T Trust. Hierarchical wise, that is the final.
Yes.
So I am not stepping down. I always say I am stepping aside.
Yes, okay.
And IT and engineering service, I am still a chairman. Next July, I have a timetable.
Yeah.
I want to give in a manner which L&T, the SNS will further take it up
Yes.
and never look back. So next year I'll give away both. Even now, I'll continue as an advisor
Sure.
for 2 years. By that time, everything. I am a Consul General of Denmark. I have a Queen of Denmark's highest awards, both of them. But I have said the ambassador, 2025 March, I am now out.
Okay.
My son is today in Navsari.
Yeah.
My daughter-in-law goes for the school and hospital on every Saturday. My sister-daughter looks after education and skilling in the rural part of, and medical is looked after by my son. Then my sister's grandson, who I only made him surgeon, he has shifted from Bombay to Navsari. So I have a good pillars now. And all the important meeting I held here and money power, sanctioning money and signing off payment, I still do. Someday my son will do. Or whoever is the most competent. It could be my daughter-in-law, it could be my niece, it could be my son. But the time has not yet come.